Hello and welcome to the HQ Movie Review Podcast.
Come on and slam.
And welcome to Japan.
I'm Josh.
Welcome to the jam. I am Rachel.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Heather.
And this week we watched, I don't know if you can guess, but it's
Ratatouille.
Everybody get up. It's
and I was going to go Transformers.
Which one?
Yeah, we watched Space Jam in honor of Space Jam 2 releasing soon.
It's out already.
It is
It's
out?
out,
Okay,
yeah.
it is out. But yeah, we watched Space Jam.
A classic.
I will be honest, my nostalgia glasses were like 3 inches thick.
Oh yeah, I loved this movie as a child. I had the soundtrack on CD, which I played it on my Walkman. I had a Toon Squad jersey. I'm very invested in this movie.
Yeah, no, it was. I loved this movie as a kid.
Yeah, it'd be great if it was still good.
It would be great if it was good in the first place.
Hold on.
Whoa,
a
whoa,
minute.
whoa, 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 whoa.
For 90s standards, this was pretty alright.
I understand that you didn't exist. But
I did not enjoy this experience.
You know, that's fair. But back in the day, this was it. This was what kids wanted to watch.
Yeah, but I'm not from your time now, am I?
was it because I kept saying welcome to the slam?
No, it was not you.
Is it because I kept telling you about the time that Viggo Mortensen broke his toe in the Two Towers?
What does that have anything?
Someone's not on TikTok. She just doesn't have the basketball Jones. It's okay.
I don't. It's true.
So anyway, this is Michael Jordan propaganda.
Go on.
I believe it.
All right, let's get into that. Let's start
All
there.
Yeah.
Hear me out. This movie was made, 1, to sell merchandise, but 2, to cover up a murder.
What?
Okay, check it out. So in the movie, Michael Jordan is playing basketball, top of his game. His dad passes away. He's like, you know what? I'm retiring. I'm moving over to baseball. I'm gonna do that. He plays baseball for a while. He's terrible at baseball for a while. Then, Looney Tunes stuff happens, and then he goes back to the NBA. Real life happens. Real life. Michael Jordan has a ton of gambling debt. He has so much gambling debt. So much, in fact, that the people he, owes money to, they want to send him a message. And so his father is killed. And in order to, take the heat off to, hey, maybe you should lay low for a while, he leaves basketball and goes and sucks at baseball for a while. And then once everything cools down, they're like, hey, all right, you can come back. You can come back to basketball and continue playing. And then they made this movie so that people wouldn't question anything about, what happened.
What? This is real? This is real life? This is what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he did have gambling debt, and I know he did play baseball for a while.
But I just can't imagine that that's why this movie was made.
I mean, it's also very much to sell merchandise and Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers and stuff. But it is, a big part of this movie is, hey, we're going to rewrite the reason why he left basketball. And, because that's, in the movie, they don't, they don't play down the fact that his father dying is a big part of him leaving the sport. But now it's on, Michael's terms. He's like, you know what? He got to see my last game. I'm gonna, retire. I'm on top. I'm gonna go do my childhood dream of, playing baseball. I'm not very good at it. I'm gonna go to the major leagues of baseball. And he doesn't do that because he's bad at it, but...
He's in the minors.
Yeah. Never heard of the Barons. But yeah, so this is Michael Jordan propaganda.
Wild.
And now he sells underwear.
Interesting.
I mean, they were selling underwear in the movie, too.
He still does.
Yo.
Yeah, that was something that I honestly having not seen this in, I don't know how long, well over a decade, I did not expect there to be so much marketing.
Oh yeah.
Like that one sentence
He,
that
like,
one
runs
guy.
in, hey, grab your hay and strap on your Nikes. I can't even remember all of the things he says. It's,
Something about McDonald's.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
McDonald's at the end. It was
That
like
was-
a full like run-on sentence too.
it was so bad. For a second, I thought it was a joke.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is when you have something that is as like fourth wall breaking and self-aware as Looney Tunes in the mix, then you can really get away with a lot of product placement if you pretend it's satire.
Yeah, like
That's true.
Daffy Duck kissing his own ass with the Warner Brothers logo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that one actually was satire and a joke, and the Wayne Knight one was like, no, but we are actually selling these things to you.
Well, let's go just straight to the beginning of the movie. Because for me, I don't think I remembered how it got dated almost immediately for me just by the establishing shot and like the style of the quality of the camera coming down
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything
Yeah.
about that. You just look at that and you're like, oh yeah, it's the 90s.
Yeah,
Yep.
the 90s cinematography is real.
They really love their extreme close-ups
Oh
Yes.
my lord.
because
All
it
the
hides
close-ups.
how bad Michael's eye lines are. There's like no point at which he is looking a Toon in the eyes in this movie. Like on the one hand, he's not an actor. He's a basketball player, sometimes a baseball player. He plays golf in his free time. He's not an actor, and I get that. But also, you couldn't take in like another take or like, hey, here's a tennis ball we painted green. Stare at that. That's where Bugs' head is. Nothing.
Like there were so many close-ups in this movie. Like you could see Michael Jordan's like pores in all 480p of this movie.
That's how close it was.
The other thing I really loved about the like opening sequence of the movie is that we immediately get that just assault on our eyes that is the opening sequence, but it goes straight to Michael Jordan, and then immediately the next billing, Bugs Bunny, top billing.
Yeah.
Then you get the title sequence, and then we go into more credits, and it's all of the major basketball players that are in this movie, and not another Looney Tune, not a single other Looney Tune. It is Bugs Bunny, the entire NBA, and that is
And that's it. That's how the poster was. Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, Space Jam. Those are the only words on that poster.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not even like they didn't have credits long enough to do it. They played the
They played that
entire
song.
All except for like the last 20 seconds of it, because then they don't have the song fade out normally. They just kind of fade it out in the last like few seconds of the song. And just it's faded, but it's so abrupt it feels like
It's almost
just like a
truncated.
hard cut. Yeah. Like it's just so abruptly fades out and then goes into his like retirement speech. It's just jarring.
It's also visually jarring because they're constantly flashing lights at you, and
Yeah.
like the screen goes like negative and bright, and it's like, all right, this is a lot, and it lasts the entire song. Also, like this is the worst anime OP I've ever seen.
We did not have photosensitivity warnings back
No.
back in
Not at all.
--
No, there
Not
were
at all.
none.
This is way before that one Pokemon episode.
Man, they still won't let Porygon back on TV, and that's fucked up because he didn't even do
He
anything.
didn't.
That was Pikachu and a torpedo, and Porygon got like blamed for it, and he has not been in an episode of Pokemon since.
Poor Porygon.
You can't kick Pikachu out. Pikachu
Yeah.
is the Bugs Bunny of Pokemon.
Kick out torpedoes then. Do you know how many episodes of Pokemon had guns in them?
It's true.
I can't believe how many guns there were in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot, and they weren't like Like, the aliens all had, like, fun time laser zap guns. It's like, oh, that's clearly fake. The Looney Tunes had real, actual guns.
At one
Yeah.
point, Porky Pig just points a Glock straight at the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam, both in the regular Looney Tunes, have just regular guns.
Yeah, they do. Which
Yeah.
they shoot at people very often.
But the fact that they used Glocks,
Oh,
like
yeah,
not the old timey guns that
Yeah.
they're supposed to have Glocks.
Like, no kid has, like, an elephant gun at home.
It just
Yeah.
really was a different time, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I cannot think of the last time that I saw a cartoon character with a full gun.
Yeah.
That was just like very clearly
Yeah, unless it was, like, some kind of, like, adult animation show.
yeah.
Like, a kid's cartoon with a gun? Unheard of.
Especially just like a regular Glock.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like Space Laser, that's one thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Gun, that's imitatable.
Or
Like,
like
yeah.
a musket, or like those like just real old.
Yeah, the elephant
Guns,
gun.
yeah,
It looks
like-
like you took the front of a trombone and held it as a... Yeah,
Yeah.
no one has those.
Yeah, that's you see those sometimes, not often, but you do see them sometimes. Modern like you're never gonna see a kid's cartoon with an AK.
You don't see a lot of Pulp Fiction references in most kids' cartoons these
Yeah.
days.
Also
Yeah.
true. So anyway, back to Space Jam.
Yeah,
we were on target this time. We were still on topic. But back to the beginning of the movie. I really like how everyone loves that Michael Jordan is playing baseball. They're in love with the novelty of it. Like, it's Michael. He struck out. Oh, he looks good doing it, doesn't he? You can't teach that. The umpire's like telling him what the throws are gonna be, the
that'd be the
pitches.
stick catcher.
Yeah, the catcher.
Listen. I came here for one sport. Baseball was not it.
It'd be wild if the umpire was telling you.
I have a limited pool of baseball words. I said throw earlier instead of pitch.
It's fine. It's fine.
I feel like I remember there being like a lot more conflict about Michael being bad at baseball and everybody else just kind of being okay with it. But there was not that. It's barely touched on
Yeah.
that he's playing baseball at some points in this movie.
Like, it's joked about a little bit, and the most character involvement he has with it is that he's talking to his kid who's also bad at baseball, which really is never brought up.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and the kid's like, hey, did everyone get mad at you too? He's like, no, it's worse. Everyone was happy to see me. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I understand how you wanting to play baseball would be frustrated by no one taking you being bad at baseball seriously. But also, I feel like you're like 10-year-old kid. It's definitely having a worse time being bad at baseball and no one liking him for it.
Yeah, definitely a worse time.
It's the bit in Meet the Robinsons where he's like, "Hey Goob, want to come over to my house later? Hey Goob, nice folder." They all
Everyone
hated
hates
me.
I had no friends.
Yeah. And they really did just kind of cliffhang Goob, didn't they, at the end of that movie? Like, they rewrite the past and, like, fix the future, and then he just runs off. It's like, I don't know what to do with my life now. It's like, hey, man, what happens? Disney, what happens?
If only there was like a incredibly wealthy found family that your childhood friend who also now has guilt about ruining your life is the
Is the head of. And also, the family was willing to adopt. You're an adult man who tried to kill them, and they're like, yeah, we'll still take you in. They were willing to actually legally adopt this man.
this adult man.
Yeah. And he was like, I can't stay here. Which, I mean, yeah, I get it. You messed up. You need to leave and go somewhere where no one knows you tried. My point being, like, where'd he go? What'd he do? You can't just leave me hanging like that.
And they lived happily ever after. Boom,
Except
done
for
the end.
Goob.
Except for Goob, who's a transient man just trying to find a place.
He's the only homeless man in this future.
Okay.
But Jack, you don't understand. They all lived happily ever after. The end.
Man, do you think it... Like, can you imagine how weird it must be being the main character of Meet the Robinsons? And you're like, all right, I have to continue dating this girl. Like, he likes her. He likes the little frog girl,
Yeah.
but he knows how this relationship goes. He cannot be surprised. They're like, he knows what their children are. He knows about like her family and like the family that adopts him. He has all of this impossible knowledge. He has just to live with for the next like 30 years.
There's so much pressure to keep that relationship alive.
Yeah. He's like, I can't. They have a fight. He's like, I can't leave.
I can't.
The timeline
mess this up.
depends on it. The sacred timeline.
That's why she's always right, because he's got to keep the timeline together.
She's always right, because if he's ever right, the TVA goes.
So anyway, Space Jam
Space Jam. Yeah, we'll talk about Meet the Robinsons when we watch that movie.
is on the list.
It is on the
think it
list.
is.
Already
Good.
watched it.
Did we?
We didn't have a podcast then. Put it back.
I could have sworn it was still on the list.
Nope, we definitely watched that.
Dang. All right. Well, anyway, back to Space Jam.
So Charles Barkley has a stroke in the middle of the court.
Oh yeah. And
It's-
no one says anything.
Like they go a good like 2 or 3 plays where these professional basketball players are having like serious like medical emergencies. And it's like, all right, 2 plays go by. He's not catching the ball. He's also walking really weird, and like I think he's grabbing his chest. Time out, real quick. Hey, Charles, you okay, man? Good. Here, sit down for a sec. You okay? And then they consider calling a medic. It's like, hold on. This man is like, he is having a medical emergency. The way they depict their power being stolen, it's like, oh, they're dying.
Yeah, those are definite signs of stroke or heart attack.
And yet they just keep going.
Anyway, that was just a really funny detail that I wanted to mention.
I'd actually like to take this moment to just quick call out post to the Looney Tunes for looking at this point, not the Monstars, just the young small aliens, and saying they're short, they definitely can't play basketball. We'll challenge them to a basketball game. And then immediately turning around and being like, do you know how to play basketball?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Like, find something you're at least good at, homie.
I mean, I think that their logic there was they can't possibly put a basket through a hoop.
They can't
we can
be-
at least learn to.
They can't be worse than they can't be better than us. They're definitely probably worse than us.
They're like, we have to score 1 point. I think we can do that, right? Because there's no chance that these like 8-inch tall aliens are going to be able to throw this basketball up 10 feet.
Speaking of aliens and their weird abilities, I really wish they had set up somehow that like the aliens from Rowan Mountain can turn into goop and steal your abilities. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
did that when it was relevant and then never again.
Yeah, like it's just so wild that they just have this ability. They can just do this.
It probably would have been a better use of their time to steal Michael Jordan's ability instead of turning him into a basketball and using him to dunk.
probably.
Honestly.
I mean, at the time, they didn't know he was good at basketball.
That's true. They're like, oh, this guy's a baseball player. What's he doing here?
That was kind of the whole point there of like when the mob boss guy, so Danny DeVito, shows up there, and he's like, "Why didn't you take this guy?" And he's like, "Well, he's not a basketball player."
Also, they already had 5 guys.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, can they double up on talent?
I mean, probably not. I don't know how this magic system is very poorly designed. It's a very
not
soft magic
explained.
system. We don't know
Very
what's going on.
soft magic.
There's no explanation. It just happens.
It's also like a really bad team. Like genuinely, the Monstars at the time, terrible basketball team. They're very poorly balanced. Like they have like the 3 tallest guys in the NBA and the 1 shortest guy in the NBA. Their team is like 3/5 centers. They're all centers. You have 1 center. I don't think they have any point guards. They're all slow. They can't catch. It's a bad team. Any regular basketball team would have beaten them.
Now, the name of the Looney Tunes team was Toon Squad, right?
Yes.
I definitely thought that it was TOON
Me
Squad.
too.
Nope,
Oh.
it's
The
a U.
entire time that I've known this movie, I thought it was Toon like that, and it's TUNE.
Well, yeah. Do you think? Well, the thing is, the Looney Tunes are not tune is in cartoon, it's tune is in song.
Yeah. It's always
Are
been
they?
spelled
It's
out. Yes.
always been
It's always been
T-U-N-E.
T-U-N-E.
You're really blowing my mind here right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
'cause
why we
it's-
both think this, but I thought it
It's like a
forever.
Bernstein Bears thing. Because it's like, it's the answer to the Disney's Merry Melodies is the Looney Tunes. So their stuff was like musical at first. And then eventually they're like, hey, what about this slapstick thing? That works.
Mm-hmm.
And so they slowly kind of stopped having music be a major factor in it, but they're still the Looney Tunes, like music.
Wild.
This is an upsetting thing. You've told me a lot of things today, and I don't know if I can take much more of it. Like you said, this is Lola Bunny's first appearance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
She was made specifically for this movie. She did not exist before.
Just think, if Michael Jordan never had gambling debt,
Think about how,
Lola Bunny
how many.
wouldn't exist.
There's so many furries who wouldn't exist now.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
They
The
knew it.
butterfly, a butterfly flaps his wings, and then Michael Jordan's gambling debt creates furries.
God, that's a Domino's meme.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
Those animators, like everyone involved in this movie, knew exactly what they were doing with Lola Bunny's character. They're like, hey, how about what if we made this female rabbit as sexy as possible? Like,
Is
Like,
this why everyone was so mad that she had a full shirt in the new one?
Yes, because through everyone's nostalgia glasses, she had just like the most ridiculous proportions.
yeah, it's the full shirt's part of it. Also, the thing that they were mainly angry about was that they reduced her breast size, which, I mean, it's a rabbit. I don't know why you'd think they would have those. But, like, everyone's weird misremembrance of Lola Bunny comes from, like, fan artists.
Yeah.
Very specific fan artists.
Hate
like-
this.
Mm-hmm.
You look at her in this movie, and it's like, oh, it is clearly a female designed character, but it's not, like, crazy.
I don't think that we really should have needed to take that many leaps, especially when she slid up next to Bugs in the perfect like S pose
Oh
with
yeah.
her like hip jutted and
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just the fan art warped everyone's perspective of this character so much that they thought that it was reality. And then when they made Space Jam 2 not like that.
They were like, hey, what if we made this character design less creepy? And the funny thing is, this isn't even the first time they've done that.
Oh yeah, in the Looney Tunes show.
The Looney Tunes show, she was a recurring character, and she had like the same proportions as Bugs almost.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Bugs shows up as a woman in that show more than she does.
It's true. There's like a YouTube video that's the Looney Tunes show, but only when Bugs is
It's like
cross-dressing,
cross-dressing.
and it's like 30 minutes
It is
long.
like a 30-minute video.
That's amazing.
I like the idea that there was like a boardroom meeting and someone was like, you gotta stop gender bending Bugs Bunny. and so you need give us Lady Rabbit. And they said, okay, we'll take that, but we're still gonna do the other thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is an essential part of his character at this point. Like, I think I've mentioned this before, but on the Tiny Toons Adventures, which is a show
Yeah.
that came out a long time ago.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Don't say those words to me.
Come on.
I almost said it just reflexively,
too.
like Pavlovian.
I also almost
Someone
said
needed
it.
to do it.
I also almost said it.
You ruined the phrase. The Tiny Toons Adventures, part of the premise of the show is that, oh, it's like the next generation of cartoons. I'm doing air quotes. You guys can't see
Yeah.
me because this is an audio medium, but it's the next generation of Looney Tunes. And so every Looney Tunes character has like a parallel on the show. So like Elmira Fudd's like niece or something, and she like loves animals. There's a small duck, there's a small Tasmanian devil, but Bugs has two characters, a boy and a girl. He's the only one who gets both.
Bugs Bunny is a Loki variant. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
No,
it.
you're right. No, you're right.
Non-binary,
Chaos.
chaos,
Mischief.
trickster god.
Yeah. He
good.
talks to the fourth wall throughout this entire movie, and it is shown early on, hey, the Looney Tunes are doing their shows live. They're all acting out these cartoons as they happen, and they're just being broadcast to like TV sets everywhere. So when the Looney Tunes stop doing the cartoons to go have a meeting,
A union meeting.
a union meeting, Bugs Bunny is still talking to the fourth wall. There's no cartoon that's showing him. He just knows that we, the audience, are here. And he's talking to us. Also, there's this webcomic called
Oh
Shag and
no,
Scoob.
No.
Listen, it's real good. It's Scoob and Shag. It's real good.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Why would you bring it up?
Because it's so good.
All I can remember is that stupid panel of Nightmare Fuel.
But like Bugs Bunny shows up and he's so cool.
He is.
He is, yes, he is really cool.
Go read that comic. It's on like Webtoon or
Don't
Webtoon
read
or
it.
something. It's so
Don't
good.
read it.
It's so good.
Don't do it.
The art style does get better later.
It
Yeah.
does get better.
It starts off as like a one-off gag comic, and the art style's like it's like that on purpose. And then as it gets more serious, like, oh, what if we did art like better? It's so good.
I'd like to talk about what I think was the worst lineup decision. Tweety Bird should not have been on this team.
Oh
yeah, I
no,
had
No.
no idea why Tweety Bird
Terrible.
was there.
that one mouse that dies immediately. Characters that are smaller than the ball probably shouldn't have been on the team.
I think any character too, if you're talking about that you chose this sport because the Monstars were too short to score, and then you choose people that are
Smaller than them.
smaller by a wide margin than the pre-talent stealing Monstars, then you've made a bad choice here.
Yeah, look, Tweety Bird wasn't in the room when they chose basketball, but then they're like, Tweety is one of the main stars of the. We can't not have Tweety here. I also really like that the granny was a cheerleader. Like, she could have played.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she
Granny
could've
would
played.
have been a better choice to play than Tweety.
Granny was better than like half the team, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see why they didn't just have Granny play and then pull out like Tweety as just like an assist character.
Like Smash Bros. She has an
Yeah.
assist, an assist
She's
trophy.
an assist trophy. Like here, it's like say she shoots a shot and it's like almost gonna go in, but it's like starting to lean out, and then Tweety comes out and just bonks it in. That would have been perfect.
And they would have too many players on the court.
Jack.
Listen,
There-
they don't enforce many rules in this game. That's one rule that they actually mention. You need to have 5 people.
There are 3 specific stages to this game. The first one is the first half of the game where they are playing good, solid basketball
And losing.
and losing
Yeah.
because the Monstars have the talent.
And violence and fire breath.
And violence. I don't think we're getting into fire breath yet. And we're getting ahead of ourselves.
You're
Like, they
right.
were absolutely playing dirty at this stage, but they were dominating just off of, like, size and skill as well.
Right.
And then we get into stage 2, which is the Michael Secret Stuff stage, in which
Right.
the Looney Tunes remember that this is a cartoon world, and they can do whatever they want.
And the first thing they do is try to take steroids.
Yeah, everyone is on a placebo steroid at this point. Everybody has decided that we're going to use like fireworks at the basketball hoops. We're going to do whatever we need to do as Toons to succeed. Some of us are driving vehicles on the court.
Yeah.
This is when we catch up.
But they're
Then,
not traveling.
stage 3. Stage 3 of the game is called outright violence.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're actively attacking and fighting each other. They're not even going after people with the ball. They're just like attacking people.
The basketball is not even shown in 9 out of 10 shots in that scene.
It's also really funny because like a lot of those shots is all 5 Monstars ganging up on somebody who doesn't have the ball. And it's like, oh, I see how the Toon Squad caught up all of a sudden. The Monstars are over here beating up Sylvester.
Hey, can't catch up if you don't have enough players on the court.
Yeah, but we can catch up if you're not guarding the hoop.
No, but we can still keep playing when a wild Bill Murray shows up.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah.
The wild Bill Murray.
I swear they changed the joke for that. I could have swore the joke was like, hey, how'd you get here? It's like, oh, we have the same agent.
It was.
Right?
No, it was. I
That was the
absolutely
joke.
remember that now.
and they changed it for the version we watched. This is on HBO Plus,
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
HBO Max. So yeah, they changed it for some reason. I don't know why, because it's not like a censorship thing.
That's a weird thing to change.
Yeah, it's real weird. And also, Bill Murray had to have said that.
Yeah,
Like, that wasn't like new Bill Murray, like, is superimposed over himself being superimposed.
they had an alternate take, and they just swapped it into this version for some reason.
I don't know why. That is wild. You kept saying it's like this is not the what you remember, and I was like, I don't remember what it was, but when you said that, that's absolutely, it was definitely we have the same agent. It's wild.
Yeah, I do think it's really funny how the Toon Squad is so given up between stages like 2 and 3 of the game, where it's like, we're losing, you might as well just like go to space now. Michael gives his pep talk, is like, yeah, no, we can't lose, we gotta get in their face, are you with me? And they're like, nah, no, we're just gonna do the slavery thing. And then Bugs shows up with the water bottle, like, hey, what about the secret stuff? And then he drinks it, and then he like cartoon transforms to be irresponsibly buff. And they're like, oh, steroids, okay, now we can do it.
My favorite part of that whole scene is Daffy Duck going, I'm not sure about this. And then Michael Jordan just going, do you want to win? Like, sir, you can't just do that. You can't peer pressure people in this children's movie.
Peer pressure them into thinking that they're taking steroids.
Yeah.
Which,
for all intents and purposes, he was just pushing drugs on this duck.
like, I'm also just saying, we did not see that water bottle 100% of the time. There is plenty of opportunity that Bugs could have thrown some, like, cocaine in that water.
It's true.
I mean, we didn't see Stan drink any because
Yeah.
it was out.
The humans didn't get any, did they? Did
No.
Michael take it? Yeah.
Michael didn't have any.
So we don't know what was in that, actually.
No, we
We
don't.
know that it's mostly tap water.
Yep.
We know it was animated like tap water, but we do not know what Bugs gave the Looney Tunes.
No.
So, just, I like how at the end of the movie, the last 10 seconds, 2 of the 5 players on the Toon Squad are just regular people.
Yeah. It's regular human actors.
Like, they called in people who are not, like, they called in foreigners to come help them.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, it's supposed to be the Toon Squad. They challenged them, too.
I mean, to be fair, like, if the Monstars hadn't stolen the talent of real people, and also superpowers, like, we need to go back to that. That one guy could breathe fire. Where did he get that? Charles Barkley can't breathe fire.
Not that you know.
Not
Could
that
they-
I know.
Could they breathe fire before?
I don't see. That's the thing. We don't know. It seems like their only power before was turning into goop and stealing energy.
Maybe they could just breathe fire.
We didn't know they could turn into goop and steal energy until they did that.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Maybe they could breathe fire the whole time.
I do like that Michael Jordan was called his airness. Like twice.
Yeah, hyper on Michael Jordan in the 90s was...
Oh yeah, definitely was real, a lot of hype.
Lot
I
of
didn't
hype.
even care about basketball, and I knew so much about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, like, it was, like, people were unironic about it. Said a lot of things that would be real cringe right now, like to say about anybody. But it was the 90s.
It was in the 90s. We didn't know how to respect celebrities in the 90s.
No. I really like that even in, like, the Space Jam universe, where he lives in the suburbs, people are just riding by his house waving at him and stuff.
Just everyone wants his autograph.
Yeah. The guys on the other baseball team were like, hey, thanks for signing that basketball. I'm a hero to my kid now. I'm going to help you cheat.
No, I'm gonna cheat for you.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan didn't ask for this.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. He was very confused by this.
Like, in fact, he just didn't want it at all. He's like, hey, don't swing. This is a slider. And he's just like, fuck you, I'm going to swing anyway.
I'm gonna do it.
No, he couldn't help it. That's how bad he is at baseball. He could not swing at a pitch that he knew he couldn't hit. He knew going in what the pitch was going to be and that he couldn't hit it. And he couldn't stop himself from swinging.
The guy's like, it's a slider. Don't hit it. Michael Jordan, how about I do anyway?
You got the melody for that wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Get some help.
We had to do one Michael Jordan meme. We couldn't not.
That's all my notes. I don't got nothing else.
So, I have one more note. And this is not one of my mind-blowing Space Jam facts. This is one of my fun, widely accepted internet Space Jam theories. And this one is that up until her parents were shown in the Looney Tunes show, which, I mean, Looney Tunes canon only goes as far as whatever show you're in. But a lot of people, before that show came out, suspected that Lola Bunny's parents were Roger and Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I hate that.
Which explains a lot of
It
things.
really
It
does.
does. They really they hit her with like the Jessica Rabbit music too on
Yeah.
every entry that she
She
had.
showed up and the saxophone went crazy. It was like, stop. You guys can't do this.
No, it was bad.
It's movies for children.
Yeah. Calm down, sax guy.
Okay, not to mention just how horny this movie is in general.
Oh, yeah. Like, Bugs like chasing after and drooling like all over Lola is one thing. Which they did a lot of boner jokes with him.
Oh my
They
goodness.
did.
Like so many. But also just like in general, the movie just has a lot of adult humor that, no surprise, as a child went over my head.
I mean, that's the kind that you need it to be. Is
Yeah.
it goes over the kid's head and it makes the movie fun for the parent that brought them.
Yeah, but as a person who has now inhabited both of those positions, I'm a little bit scared. Like the Monstars pre-serum show up to a basketball game in a trench coat, sit next to this woman, and start moving around weird. And she turns to her husband like, "Hey, these are bad seats. The guy next to me is doing something weird inside his trench coat." And like, that's uncomfy.
Yeah.
I don't like the implication there.
Also, when they show up for the union meeting, Daffy Duck walks in and he's like, "Man, I can't even get wet."
He was trying to take a shower. You are reading
sure.
way too much into this.
Sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's just you. That's just you in your mind.
No, that's definitely not just me.
This is not just him.
Okay. He's a duck. They live in the water.
Ducks are basically
You know what else they do in the water?
waterproof.
Exactly. That's why he couldn't get wet.
Good. Also, just that scene, if you do watch it, when they start laughing hysterically, watch the left side for Elmer Fudd and enjoy your nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, he looks like a background like Rick and Morty character.
It was terrible.
I don't know who is responsible for the animation of Elmer Fudd there, but
Whatever it was, they
You
need
failed.
to be fired.
They had a lot of cartoons to animate in this movie. That's why so many of the characters in the crowd at the end were copy pasted.
oh my goodness.
It was real bad.
You pause at any given time and you can find all of the repeats, which I mean, it's a background, like it's not unheard of, but when you're older and you're watching the movie again, it's definitely something you can pick apart.
It's egregious.
It's
They
so bad.
They have like the same characters 5 or 6 times in a single shot, and they're all next to each other.
Yeah, you definitely do not need to pause to see these
They
things.
don't even spread them out. That's the worst part.
There were so many instances of the same cat character, like on top, like the head of one is on top of like the arm of the same one.
Yeah, she's just standing next to herself in a bunch of places. The only thing that's good about that is because none of them were anywhere near Pepe Le Pew. Which also, people were complaining that Pepe Le Pew was like cut from the new... We're not going to talk a lot about the new Space Jam on this episode. But like people are complaining that Pepe Le Pew got cut from the new Space Jam. Yo, folks, he's not in this one.
He's in like
He shows he's
He's
in like 2 shots, and he does something 1 time. I think that was his only spoken line.
Yeah, that was absolutely his only spoken line.
Yeah, like calm down. People are so blinded by nostalgia for a character that like whose favorite character is Pepe Le Pew? Honestly, really.
Yeah.
Why aren't you in jail?
Also, just the random amount of foreign language lines in this film.
Yeah, they really did have an awkward amount of those. It was just like every time they introduced someone or they left a scene.
I mean, that's honestly pretty normal for Looney Tunes. Like they'll just say things.
I don't remember that from Looney Tunes.
Well, yeah,
but I
'cause
mean, it could be.
You never really picked up on it because those are just things they said. Remember when Bugs Bunny changed the meaning of the name Nimrod?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's just stuff they did.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, there's so much like original Looney Tunes was so like there's so much culture in it that no one got, and so it just became Looney Tunes references instead of references to whatever else it was. Like, Bugs Bunny's whole character is a caricature of some other dude from like live action like early movies and film, and despite having read that factoid, I have no idea who that guy is.
Looney Tunes was the original cultural reset.
Honestly.
Yeah. What's Up, Doc is a reference. And
Not
no one,
anymore, it isn't.
Yeah, no one knows what it's a reference to anymore. The original text has been lost.
The sacred Jedi text.
The sacred Jedi text.
And there it is.
We always come back to Star Wars.
Listen, they weren't page turners. Yoda was right to burn the tree, and they weren't even in there. It's fine.
Yoda knew they weren't in there.
Yeah. So, the Lego Star Wars special. It's related. Hold on. There's a segue.
Okay.
Because like in the special, Rey's reading the texts to try and learn how to like train Finn. Is that special canon? I feel like it's pretty canon.
I think that it's canon in the sense that Finn is force sensitive and they probably are training him.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're not. There's a lot of Lego physics that happen there.
There's a lot of Lego physics and a lot of I don't think that Max Rebo came and played the holiday party for Star Wars.
Listen, if you're telling me that the Emperor did not see Kylo Ren and think, I can manipulate this one much easier than Vader.
Isn't that what happened in the sequel trilogy? To
I mean-
be completely honest.
I mean, yes, but again. But no, I mean, obviously there's not all of that. But yeah, I think the place where the special started is canon, where she's just like, I'm reading the ancient texts. I need to train Finn because I'm now, as far as we know, the most qualified Jedi in the galaxy. really keep my fingers crossed for some other characters that we don't know the fate of yet.
Oh, they've been cast.
They have been cast in things. It's also, real quick disclaimer, I'm not hating on Rey. I'm not. Listen, she's just female Luke. It's the same story. It's not a worse character for doing the same things.
In this podcast, we respect all Star Wars.
Yes.
What were
I don't
the-
respect her last name, but I respect her character.
And we don't respect Space Jam.
Hold on.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You're putting words in someone's mouth here, and they're not.
Actually, going back to Bugs Bunny for a minute,
If we must.
I do have. It's not about Space Jam. It is about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But
Okay.
but just going back into that, I thought about this when we were talking about how Bugs Bunny has top billing and none of the other Looney Tunes even show up. Maybe he's just like a massive megalomaniac. Here's
absolutely.
why. Here is my other supporting evidence for this fictional character.
Go on.
In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Bugs Bunny is a character. They have brought in like animated characters from other production companies for this. But the stipulation that Warner Brothers had was that he had to have equal screen time as Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. They had the same thing with Daffy and Donald.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, even without that fact, he is absolutely like have you any of his cartoons? He is like if he's not the victim, And even when he is, he's actively just ruining people's lives for fun.
Have you watched the newer Looney Tunes?
The one where his gloves are like yellow? I have not seen any of those.
There's like a really recent one, and he's like roommates with Daffy.
Well, that's just the Looney Tunes show,
Oh,
which I have seen and greatly enjoy.
I for some reason I thought it was like significantly more recent.
No, it's not, but it was really good.
It was good.
And it does have a similar style to the new ones. But the Looney Tunes show is great. The roommates, he's just independently wealthy for inventing like the carrot peeler. And so like he just never has to work in his life because he just is constantly getting royalty checks for this invention.
Nice.
Okay. But speaking of like old Looney Tunes cartoons, okay? Do you guys remember Duck Dodgers?
I was just about to
right.
say that.
Now I need to ask you, which Duck Dodgers? Because there's like the original Duck Dodgers, and then there's the better Duck Dodgers.
What is the better Duck Dodgers?
The better Duck Dodgers is the one with the theme song and like the actual plot.
Yes, that's the one I was.
Yeah,
thinking.
that one.
Okay, yeah.
Duck Dodgers and the something.
And the 31st and 1/2 century.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
31st and 1/2 century.
Because the original Duck Dodgers, the one that one is vaguely based on, I mean, obviously it's a pun on Buck Rogers, but he just shows up in this weird green suit. I think it was just for one short where he's fighting Marvin the Martian. And then, like, Cartoon Network and Boomerang are like, hey, what if we actually made a show, though? And it's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then they invented, like, the Queen of Mars, and we did the whole Lola Rabbit thing, or Lola Bunny thing again.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right. And she was just in love with Daffy. Well,
Yeah, she
Duck
was just
Dodgers. It
in
was
love
really
with him.
Weird. And then he's saying it's not unusual.
Yeah, that did happen.
Wait, it did what? Why did I forget that?
Yeah.
Daffy as Duck Dodgers saying it's not unusual, but it wasn't Daffy's voice. It was just, it's not unusual to
Yeah.
him lip syncing to it.
I just read something very upsetting on the IMDb fun facts.
Oh.
The original promotional website for the 1996 Space Jam was perfectly preserved online. You could still go to it exactly as it appeared in 1996. Think about what the internet was in 1996.
Very slow.
But just the aesthetics.
Oh, yeah.
They changed it for Space Jam 2.
No.
What?
That was an artifact.
So
It
it's
belonged in a
gone
museum.
now. It belonged in a museum.
They should have made a new one.
They should have just made a new one. They didn't even it's the new movie's called Space Jam 2, and then it has a subtitle, which is dumb. I don't remember what it was. But they didn't need to do that. That's legitimately sad.
I was prepared to interrupt everything else that was going on to be like, we need to go to the website right now. When I read, however, it's been changed for Space Jam 2.
It's still in the Wayback Machine, probably.
Oh.
Time to go surfing the internet.
In the meantime, can we talk about how great the soundtrack is for this movie?
It's pretty good.
It's really good. It's just 90s R&B and hip hop beats and stuff. It's great. I Believe I Can Fly.
I know the opening number just, I Believe I Can Fly.
Come on and slam and welcome to the jam. Everyone knows it.
I would just also like
Space
to...
Jam?
Space Jam!
Space Jam.
You're not going to fix that, huh, bud?
I did.
You did not. You did not, in fact.
Space Jam.
It's real good for our audio medium podcast.
I know.
Man,
Well,
this
you
really
cut
is
this
what
out.
Bo Burnham meant when he said a little bit of everything all the
Oh
time.
my
Look at that!
God.
Oh, that's a work of art right there, folks.
It's so small on the
Oh.
screen.
Oh my god.
That's it. That's 1996.
Look at that space texture background. It loops so many times.
Jump
Literally every
station.
it's 20 times.
Oh my.
Lunar
You can
Tunes.
just see it's a straight line based on which star you're looking at.
Yeah.
Planet B-Ball.
Press
Jam
box
section.
shuttle.
Jam Central.
Let's go to Junior Jam.
Junior Jam.
Take
Junior
me to Junior
Jam.
Jam.
Behind the jam.
Look at that. It's
Oh.
right now.
Oh, that's worse.
Oh, this
so
is-
much worse. It's
This
lime
is
green.
like This is
There's
like
a spinning icon that says games.
This is the kind of thing that you could like make on like freewebs.com.
this
Yeah.
is this
30
is like
minutes.
Microsoft Paint.
I remember making this like type of website in 3 minutes in Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
Oh
In
my
high school.
gosh.
Also, this picture, what is going on with this character's head? I
Yeah,
don't even know
That's
who
the
this
coloring
is.
book for the orange one.
That's
the
one
orange
of the that's one of
Monster.
the aliens.
Probably.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is this orange thing?
That's
That's
Tweety.
That's when Tweety's attacking him.
Oh no!
Kids, much awaits you here in Looney Tune Land.
It's
Oh my
Click
actually
on the different parts
exactly
of the
3
Oh,
things.
you can click on the different parts of the picture above for lots of fun and games.
Neat stuff
Neat
to look
stuff
at.
to look at.
Basketball tips and terms.
Meet the characters.
The coloring book. Oh god.
Oh man.
Oh, this is
aggressively yellow, followed by green.
Oh boy.
Look at neat.
Check out these cool pictures from Space Jam.
It's several
Oh.
screen caps, but we're just
It's
short of
exactly
enough to make
10.
it an even square.
There's
my
10
God.
and it's 10 screen caps and they're organized in a 3x4 square with 2 spots missing from
Oh
the right
no.
column.
Oh
is-
no.
Photos by Bruce Talamon. Do you get photo credit on screen capping a movie? Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Take me to Jam Central.
Please, I
Let's
need
see
to
Jam
go.
what's in
Central.
Planet
We're
Jam
going to
Central.
Jam
Jam
Central
Central.
Station.
Jam Central.
You've made it, Jam Central Station, the central depository for all things Space Jam.
I was
From
joking.
the best seats in the house, you can peruse the production notes, find out about the filmmakers, check out the theatrical trailer, and look at a bunch of photos from the film. So this is the exact same thing as the kids jam section, except there's not a coloring book.
Yeah, it's the same darker space background as the first whoops. It's
Also,
this is
they
so
just
good.
straight up tell you that it's photos from the film.
Instead of neat stuff to
Neat
look at.
stuff to look at. Photos from the film.
I'm just really curious to see if it's the same
It's
page.
Jam Central After
Oh,
Hours.
Oh, that's blue.
Aggressively.
Oh, it's
Oh.
a basketball background now.
Oh,
So
and they're different pictures.
The kids ones were all animated, and
Yeah.
the adult ones are all
They're all
the
pictures
live
of Michael
action.
Jordan.
They're all pictures of Michael
Except
Jordan.
for one, which is a picture of his daughter.
What is this?
Oh,
This is
click
great.
on any of the photos to get a full size, full color
Internet
Quality.
quality.
Oh, this is great. Please go to the Wayback Machine and
I'll-
go to spacejam.com.
The caption is really it for me.
Check the description for the URL of this website.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
Michael Jordan recovers from a bump on the head with a new twist on some classic animation.
It's the golf balls.
The
flying
golf
outside
balls
with
flying
wings.
around
It's-
Oh my lord.
This is a treasure trove.
Let's
I can't
take a
believe
look
they
to-
rebooted this website.
Are
I
we
wonder
going
what
to
it
Planet
looks like
B-Ball?
now.
Yeah, I want to see Planet B-Ball.
All
I
right.
want
We
to know
can't-
what this is.
Listen, we can't go to what the website looks like now. It's gonna be a disappointment.
No, we got it after.
If you like baseball and you like to jam,
Hold on,
go
hold
no
on, hold on,
further.
hold on. You want to read that fourth word again?
If you like basketball, and you like to jam, go no further. Space Jam in bold. It isn't just about Michael Jordan meeting the Looney Tunes.
Au contraire. I think that's exactly what it is.
It's about a slammin' jammin' game to keep the Looney Tunes out of a failed intergalactic theme park.
That's a B plot at
That
best.
is that is absolute. I love that we are very much dancing around to keep the Looney Tunes out of slavery.
Yeah.
Rounding out the cast are some of the biggest stars of the NBA making their feature film debuts.
Do they? That is the C plot.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Charles Barkley was in any films before this. This is his feature film debut.
I'm sorry. there's just been in almost every single page, there's just been this spinning disc that says games.
Games.
on all of the major landing pages. I have to see what this is.
Click it.
Oh boy,
This
that's
is
Oh,
so green.
no.
Oh, it downloaded something.
Oh.
No.
God.
That's not good.
Shoot that DCR. First off, this screen aggressively green.
It is
Aggressively.
very green.
The background is, I think it's supposed to be the net, but it just stretches across the entire screen. So it just looks like a really bad chain link fence.
Welcome to HQ Movie Review. In this episode, Josh accidentally downloads a virus from the Space Jam website. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Shoot.dcr. Install additional codecs to work with this file. You know
Oh,
what?
God. No,
Nah,
we don't
I'm
have time
good.
for that.
That's as far as we could get.
We're not going any further down this particular rabbit hole.
Oh my gosh.
Or
Wow.
Golful, I guess. Oh, if your browser is equipped with the shockwave system, boy howdy, that's unfortunate.
Gosh.
Wow, I remember Shockwave.
That's ancient technology.
It just reminds me of like Newgrounds.
Gosh dang.
The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, I'm definitely gonna put this website in the description so that all of you people listening can hear or can see exactly what we're looking at here, and enjoy all of this fun.
Oh gosh.
This is so aggressively 90s. I have not seen a website like this in so long.
All right, take us to the current Space Jam website.
Oh man, I was gonna start the outro.
A little piece of my heart just wants to know if they kept any of the vibes.
No, they absolutely didn't. I don't.
James!
believe-
Shame!
Also, you can't use spaces in a URL. What are you doing?
Did you just type Space Jam website into the address?
Because I didn't know if it was spacejam.com.
They
okay?
said that they changed it.
Yes.
They did say
established
this,
that.
and it also wasn't. Okay, so in the web archive, it didn't go to spacejam.com, so I just wanted to just get a Google.
All right.
Just get a
First
Google.
things first. It's loading. It's not instantly hurting my
Oh,
eyes.
it's
it does
the
go
trailer.
immediately to
The
a
trailer.
trailer.
This is just a trailer. I'm gonna mute.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's the YouTube player. I will say, they did make him a cartoon.
Yeah, which
Mr.
is good.
Mr. LeBron
It's much
King
better.
James. Which I mean, yeah, that looks pretty good there.
I am gonna just close this.
Yeah, the animation is really like vector. It's
Yeah, no, they got that new animation,
clean.
so I can't argue with that.
Oh,
I do think the new Toon Squad outfits. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and my like nostalgia. I'm not a fan. I'm not as much a fan of the.
you
new...
can pick which one you're gonna go to, so you can
Oh.
still go to the 1996 Space Jam website.
It does say okay. Cause okay, yeah, it works.
Yeah, you
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
yeah, so it's just spacejam.com/1996.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that.
We didn't even
Did
need.
they change it? Is what I want.
Yeah. Can we get the games? Does the game
Games.
work now?
Oh,
it
it's
looks just as
Okay.
terrible.
It is
Click that games
identical.
link, sir.
Ooh.
Hey, the games work. Oh, there's. Oh boy, that's.
Oh no.
They all look
Fantasy
terrible.
basketball Hoop-O-Matic, Match the Monstars, and then just concentration.
May we suggest Hoop-O-Matic Fantasy Basketball from Sports Illustrated for Kids?
Concentration. Shockwave plugin needed. 144K download.
Is Concentration just a memory game?
It
Yes.
definitely looks like it.
It's the match the cards memory game.
Yeah, it's just memory, but with a time limit.
Oh, that's not fun.
It's the fucking 8 spinning game logos on the top. They're
This
just so aggressive. They're all in sync too.
Peak 1996 internet like style, man.
I haven't felt a website give me this energy in so long.
Yeah, I feel like I need my parents' permission to come here.
Oh goodness. All right.
And real big nostalgia for when there was like one desktop computer in my entire house.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah. I just got that nostalgia too. and I vividly remember, like, you remember when, first of all, you had dial-up, right?
Oh yeah, obviously.
And you had the horrible screeching noise to get on the internet.
I love that noise. What are you talking about?
You also
It's like, yeah,
you also remember AOL, You Got Mail, right?
Oh yeah, we had AOL.
You've got.
Remember when you
mail.
had to download? You had like
You
get
had
a
to
CD
download the
driver
internet.
to download the internet.
Yeah, it's great. I remember specifically growing up, my dad changed the audio clip for the AOL You Got Mail to Foghorn Leghorn saying, I see you got mail.
No, I'm just a simple country lawyer. Oh boy, that's.
It was great.
I think that's the most natural tie back in we're gonna get.
And with that has been Space Jam.
It's been an interesting time.
Yeah, it was. Look, the movie has some very serious nostalgia for me, and I will always love it for that. Also, it's absolutely rocking like soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
But I think I can go a little while before watching this again. But you know, I had fun.
It was a great refresher coming into Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
To be able to watch it again and revisit it and experience what the 90s was.
Have a good control for comparison.
Yeah.
Like it was good. No, it wasn't good. It was okay.
It was a good time.
I definitely remember it way better in my head through nostalgia. But you know, it was not bad. It was fun. It was a fun time watching. And definitely have to close your eyes for some of those CGI effects.
Oh, it was terrible.
I mean, they go pretty fast.
They
Sometimes.
do.
Sometimes that
And-
him being turned into a basketball scene was way too long.
It's weird that he forgot he could do that. Anyway,
This has been HQ Movie Review. I'm Josh.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Heather.
Come on and slam.
That's all, folks.